What is good, y'all? It is your boy Humble Success, and we are back with another video. Today I put together a slideshow talking about self-improvement, my self-improvement journey, Humble Success. And in today's video, I'm going to be explaining the reason behind self-improvement, the reason I got into it, and everything like that. Let's push further into the next slide. Why self-improvement? Every day I make videos about why you shouldn't do this, why you shouldn't do that, every single thing like this. The importance of self-improvement, the cost of staying stagnant, modern day pressure and expectation on men on self-improvement. And in today's video, I really wanted to dig deep on all of these things because I believe the importance of self-improvement is because you're helping so much people around you. My whole idea of being successful, being that helping hand for your family, being that sole provider is the reason I push further in being a self-improvement guy. The importance of self-improvement is I look at it as if I'm not working as hard as I possibly could, there are people who rely on me. There are people who are dependent on me in my life. And I need to be able to help provide, be there in the time of need for them. Being that provider for my family is a main reason I want to be as good as I can to help people who have less than me. So yeah, that's really just the case. The cost of staying stagnant. Understand that when you're in the same position for years, months, days, hours, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Understand that you're not helping anybody. You're not helping yourself. You're in the lowest vibration you can possibly be. The thing with life is it's all about growing, evolving, learning, putting yourself in a position to evolve and be the best person you can possibly be. When you decide to stay in the same position, you're basically telling everybody around you, I don't care about life, I don't care about you, I don't care about this, I don't care about anything. I'm just gonna do whatever the hell I want to do, be in the same level forever. And the thing with that is, if you have a family, what example are you setting for your sons, your daughters, your wife, people who look at you as that provider for them? I don't really see why you'd want to stay in the same position. Modern day pressure. There's a lot of expectations for men, especially with social media booming. At this age, you're supposed to have this figured out, and all that stuff is lies. What I'm gonna tell you this right now is my idea of success is being able to be financially free, being able to wake up whenever you want, do whatever you want, relax, be there with your family. Because my idea of life is that life is very short. And if you're stuck working 10 hours a day, not being able to be around your family, that really pushes you away from, happiness. That really pushes you away from happiness. People say money doesn't buy happiness. Yeah, for me, that's a bunch of bullshit. Money buys happiness. The difference between money doesn't buy happiness and the true fact of money doesn't sustain happiness, those are two different things. I believe money does buy happiness, but it doesn't sustain it. You gotta do other things, play other roles, live your life effectively in order to sustain the happiness with the money you've gotten. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure on men in modern day. People expect you to be so great, and a lot of people are just trying to figure out their lives just like I am. A lot of people are just trying to do something to help and just grow in any kind of way. That's why for this whole personal brand thing, I want to create a community where a bunch of people can come together. We can all share ideas. A lot of like-minded individuals who are successful in whatever craft they're doing. It's not just only going to be about fitness. There's going to be a community there's going to be rules. There's going to be people running it, helping me and doing all these things together. So yeah, it's going to be a great community. And once I start it, I hope all of you guys watching it are a part of it. So yeah, self-awareness. being self-awareness, being self-aware is gonna definitely take you very far. In this photos, I know you can't see my face because my webcam is over it, but in this photos, these were two different people. For those of you guys who don't know, at 17, 16, around that age, I hit rock bottom. I was doing the most nonsense activities. I was involved in a bunch of gangs, selling drugs. I was doing a bunch of nonsense. And what I learned from that, that was not who I truly was. I was stupid at that age. I was dumb. And growing up, I learned that I had to realize that this is not what life is about. Life is about growing, building a community, helping people around you, being a person of value to society. That's what life is all about. Even the whole aspect of how you gain money and everything like that, you have to present value to the table in order for someone to give you a stash of cash. That's just how it is always been, and that's how it's always going to be. Need value. Accessing my strengths and weaknesses was something I truly had to dig deep on. I really had to figure out what was my strength and what was my weakness. At that time, my weaknesses were lacking accountability, inconsistent, I was unproductive, I was, what's another one? I'm just listing all the negative attributions I had living that kind of lifestyle. I was selfish because I'm putting a whole bunch of people in danger because of the choices I made each and every single day at that time. And what really dug me out of that rabbit hole, out of that stupid hole, was me realizing who I truly was. People said at that time my strengths was I had the ability to motivate, I had the ability to talk sense into other people, I had the ability to be very humble, and those were strengths I wanted to hold on to. That's why I call this channel Humble Success. I had the ability to be successful. I was talented in my music, and I still am. But yeah, what you need to understand is hold on to your strengths and try and improve on your weaknesses. I noticed these were the things I needed to fix about myself. I looked down and I was like, yeah, I need to work on my mindset. I really need to work on my mindset. Mindset really does play a role with how successful each person will be. So working on your mindset, making it as positive and as driven as possible towards the craft you're trying to go towards will definitely push you towards success. Understand your values and purpose. For me, at the time, I had no values. I just saw values in selling this, doing that, doing blah, blah, blah. But really coming to who I am today, my value is to be able to help men and women and every single person who's trying to grow in their business, in their lifestyle, their fitness lifestyle, their relationships, trying to grow in life all around. That's my value, to push, help, and motivate people to keep going. What you guys need to understand is life is freaking hard. A lot of people, if you really checked how sad and people are so down at this moment, you would be so shocked how society is actually still running. So being able to be there for people and motivate people and push people towards their best selves is what I see my purpose as on earth. My values is being a man that can take care of his family, take care of his people, take care of his friends. Obviously I'm not going to let people just use me, but the idea of being there for the people that you love is my values. Taking accountability was something I really had to understand and learn. At that time, I lacked accountability. If they told me, yo, why are you doing this? Why are you attacking these guys? I'll be like, oh, they did it first. They did this. But growing up into the man I am today, I understand that taking accountability, even when I screw up, I always say, damn, I screwed up. I tell the people that need to know, hey, man, I screwed up. I need the help. I need, blah, blah, blah. Being able to understand where you need help and where you pretty much messed up is going to take you a long way. This is for self-awareness. So now, moving on to the physical aspects, and my bad for the webcam on this side. I haven't yet figured out how to move it, but for now, it's going to stay here. As you guys can see, moving on to physical discipline, I had to build a fitness routine. Fitness routine, building consistency, being able to show up each and every single day. As you guys can see on my channel, I used to post each and every single day. That was consistency. I've kind of flopped on it, and I'm trying to build back on that. It's just working with time, being around everything like that is really, I'm really trying to figure out each and every single thing to get back on my routine. But for fitness routine, being able to show up each and every single day, even the days when you don't feel like doing it, but you just come to the gym anyways. Maybe you hit less reps, hit less weights, but you're there and you're working on yourself. That's the best thing you can do for yourself as a person trying to build physical discipline. Nutrition and sleep. I'm not gonna lie, my sleep is kind of bad. I sleep like 6 hours ish, maybe 7 hours if I'm lucky. But my nutrition, one thing I would say is my nutrition is the best. I eat a lot of protein, a lot of, mixed balanced diets. That's the best thing you can do. A lot of people say, oh, I'm going to do a carnivore diet. I'm going to do a vegan diet. All that shit is bullshit. I'm going to tell you this right now. Focus in being as balanced as possible. Anything on this earth, if you do too much of it, is going to be bad for you. If I started working out too much, going to the gym 8 hours a day, that's gonna take a toll on my physical self, But if you have a balanced workout routine, balanced diet routine, you're gonna see the most growth being maximized. Sleep. A lot of us, if you live in a first world country where you're provided with nutrition, food, water, and you don't really have to fight for it, you can open up your fridge. The only thing you really need to be focusing on to grow even more is obviously having a training routine, but also your rest. Rest is just as important as a person trying to, train as hard as they could. You need to rest your body. Your body needs time to rest and recover. Dopamine detoxing. Take yourself from using your phone for hours, scrolling on social media, going on YouTube. Become a creator. If you're a person trying to build a personal brand, become a creator. Stop wasting your time and just start posting, start doing what you got to do. Stay away from porn, all these addictive, dopamine rushes, drugs, all these kinds of things. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do any of those kinds of things. And I'm not saying this to make myself look like some perfect guy, but I just formed the idea that I'm not going to put myself rubbish in my system anymore anytime soon, or even later in my life. I'm staying far away from drugs as far as I could go, So yeah, life is a long time journey of learning. You need to understand that reading books, will definitely push you further than just being a guy who searches up on Google, how do I do this, how do I do that. The thing with reading books and understanding things is that in books you learn each and every single page. Google, you just have to form the idea, the question in your head, and be like, oh, what is that? And then you search it up on Google, blah blah blah. But the thing with books is that you're learning as you're reading each and every single day. I would definitely advise you guys to read. I've read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It was a really good book. Definitely all about making money and mindset perspective. It was definitely a perspective kind of thing. And right now I have Richest Man in Babylon. I'm currently in the process of reading this. So definitely a mindset book. So a lot of these things are based on your mind, as if also the top right one is literally the power of your subconscious mind. It's literally about your mind, how you can change how you think, Learn a new skill. Understand that skills are to be learned, especially when you're young. Understand that it's not all about money. It's about learning skills that provide you with the ability to obtain money. Learning skills would definitely push you further than a guy who just works his ass off. Skills are the best thing you can do. Learn, have an open mind, especially when you're younger. Seeking mentors. Look towards people who are where you want to be. Imagine if I was a fat guy telling you guys, stay in shape, work out, do this, right? Yes, I'm telling you some good information, but am I living by what I'm preaching? It makes me look less serious and it makes me look stupid. So what you need to understand is seek people who are where you want to be. If it's in dating, you know, you can be like, hey, it depends what kind of dating life you're trying to have. If you're trying to have a proper, like, what's the word, monogamous, is it that word? I don't know, I forgot the word. If you're trying to have a proper relationship with one woman in your life, but you're going towards someone who goes to the club, dates a bunch of girls, sleeps around, maybe that's not the right guy for you. Look for people who are where you want to be in life, you know. Career and financial growth setting, you know, you want to see where you want to be in life. Understand that goals have to be set. Me, right here on the computer, I was working on this current slideshow. I think this was 2 days ago. I was working on it, and yeah, this is what I was doing. I was working on it. Oops, I moved on to the next one too soon. I was working on it, and I was working as hard as I could on it. In the gym, I set goals each and every single day. Deadlift 400, 405. You know, in the gym, as you can see here, I'm just working out. I don't know if you can see it because my webcam is definitely on top. Build multiple income streams. You guys can't be relying on your job alone. Fuck a job, man. You can't just be relying on jobs alone. You gotta work on building multiple income streams. I believe in having something online because think about it. Look at what COVID did to our lives. Everything transferred to online shit. We couldn't do anything personally. So what you need to understand is go online, try and build a business there, you know, build a personal brand. I believe AI is fighting with personal brands. In life today, it's literally personal brands versus AI. So you need to be able to understand what you're doing and build a personal brand. So invest wisely. A lot of you guys, when people use the words invest, they think real estate, stocks, crypto, all these extra shit. Investing could be in the thing you're trying to do. Let's say you're a YouTuber, you're trying to build a YouTube channel and you need a mic. That's an investment. You're investing in a mic, a camera, things like that would help you grow your channel to make money in the future. So investing in things that's an investment. You know, you need to be able to invest your money. You know, relationships and brotherhood. As you guys can see, that's my beautiful girlfriend right there. Improving your communication is what's going to help you have longevity and all these things. You want to be a person that is able to talk to your partner, talk to your friends. You know, you're easy to work with, basically. Building strong friendships will take you a long way. Male friendships, especially as a guy, and especially when you're in a relationship, there are things you want to talk to your friends, and it helps you keep a stoic frame around your woman. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say, but one thing you don't want to do is come off as emotionally unsecure. Your woman wouldn't be able to feel safe around you. The words aren't coming out smoothly today, but what I'm trying to say is that have a strong friend group where you can communicate your feelings and everything like that. And I'm not telling you not to talk to your girlfriend about how you feel, but a lot of you guys are crying to your girlfriend. That's not what you're supposed to do. And I'll dig deep on that in another video for why that you shouldn't do that. So being a better son, a better friend, a better partner, basically. I hope to be the best man I could be to my girlfriend. You know, I try my best each and every single day. I work my ass off, you know. So yeah, at the end of the day, last slide. What is your purpose, legacy, and impact you're trying to leave? Define your mission. My mission is to help men and women, people all around, to motivate every person on this earth that watches my channel to keep going, keep pushing, go as hard as they could, you know. Don't give up on whatever the hell they're trying to do. To leave something behind. When I have kids, I want to have kids in the future. So I want them to see that, hey, my dad did this, the mindset. It's all about the mindset. I'm trying to leave my mindset to people before I pass, you know. People who come across my channel long after I've gone, I want them to be like, oh, this guy holy shit, like he had a great mindset, this blah blah blah. That's the idea, to leave something behind. A mindset of positivity, motivation, a mindset of hardworking, dedication, consistency, each and every positive attribution towards success. Serve others and not just yourself. That's the most important thing in this slide as well. A lot of you guys, when you guys are trying to start off with a personal brand, you guys just want to make it all about yourself. You want to make it all about you. But what you need to understand is serving others is the best thing you can do. Humans are naturally selfish. You have to be able to present value, and that's how it's always been and how it's always going to be. Even with money, to exchange money, you need value, so being able to provide knowledge, like education to people, teaching them how to live, how to do their things in life, will definitely be the best thing you can do for yourself. And really that's it for this whole self-improvement video. I'm just giving you a reason for self-improvement, and this is my blueprint towards success. I need to be financially free by the age of 25, and that's going to be something I work towards obtaining. You guys need a goal and set it down, write it down. This is a slideshow I put to you guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys are new to this channel, like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for all your support. I'll catch y'all later. Stay blessed.